Desperado, the Eagles show. Welcome to the Tribute Show.
Thank you, Grant.
Welcome, guys.
Good to see you.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, for the benefit of our viewers who have not met you guys before, could you please introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name's Mark.
Hi, I'm Jason.
I'm Brendan.
And I'm Ross. And our two other good companions, Trevor and Vern, are not with us today. But
No.
They are with us, but not.
Hey, Trevor. Hey, Vern.
How you
Hey,
going,
guys.
guys?
Shout out, guys.
Cheers.
All right, the summer of love ends. There's a musical vacuum. Where do you think in the timeline the Eagles fit?
Okay, it wasn't the question you asked us to prepare.
I like it.
It's a good
It's
question.
improv.
It's
It's
We
improv.
love this. We love this.
Well, where do they fit? They took up a good chunk of the 70s and the 80s. I think they reinvented a lot of the sound, the early sound. It started out country rock, probably got more sophisticated.
Yeah, I think one word actually for the Eagles for us, their stuff is timeless. Really,
Timeless,
yeah.
it really is.
Which is kind of sort of leads me into the next question. Is that I remember as a very, very small child, I'm walking past the radio and Life in the Fast Lane jumps on the radio, and I'm absolutely frozen in time, thinking, what is this stuff? Who are these guys singing? And I suppose the question is, that was my cathartic moment. When did you have the moment when you decided, look, this is what I want to do? The Eagles is what I really want to do.
Well, it probably started more from. We went into the Eagles from. We actually started doing a thing called. You've heard of LRB.
Oh, of course.
We started doing it at Riverman, and that's when the harmonies and the kind of music it all.
Look, for me,
It's so hard. That's a hard question. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I can go back before we started the band, and I remember I had the Hotel California album in a little record player in the garage, and great album, and then all of a sudden The Last Resort came on, that song.
Just to interrupt you there. For those who don't know, a record player is something that they
Yes.
used in the
And
20th
I
century.
did
he
that
said.
too. It wasn't Twinings or a cup of tea, it was an actual
They actually
record.
sounded pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's an argument they do.
Yeah.
So that song, as young as I was then, was wow. Like
Yeah,
your
it's
moment.
that,
Your moment.
That
Yeah,
moment, you kind of,
absolutely.
oh my God, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I suppose leads into, again, the next question, a gazillion album sales and, goodness knows how many plays on commercial radio throughout the years. How do you reproduce that really, really distinct sound? Because I would put it to you that if you mess it up, everybody knows. How? What's the secret?
Well, I think he alluded to it before. We actually had quite a good sound with the Little River Band. So the harmonies, of course, have got to be the strongest part. And for some reason, luckily, we just blend together and make that sound.
Yeah.
It wasn't really something we tried. We got told by a few other people, if you did the Eagles, I think you'd have a lot more success as far as gigs. And we thought about it, and it was an easy.
Brendan's more the technical one of the band, and he'll probably be the first to tell you, and I'll let him do it.
Yeah.
Pulling these songs
No.
apart. Yeah,
You're doing well.
Pulling the songs
They're playing your song, Brendan.
Those excellent, all excellent vocalists, musicians.
Oh.
So to pull those songs apart, that took a long time.
That must be a joy within itself to sit there and actually strip the song apart piece by
Very
piece.
in educational.
Wow, how did you do that, and how did you think of that?
So we did that with all parts, just to try to, because unless you lived in America, how could you see the Eagles live when we were growing up? So we lift the record player off, stop again.
For those of you not in America,
Going back.
next
Why am I
best
stuck
thing,
with
guys.
this again?
Next best thing.
I've got to get over the record player. I can't
No, I like the record player.
Then they shrunk in the wash.
How many technologies ago is that now?
So and then just our voices seem to just blend at the right parts to take. And of course we got Golden Tonsils here, so we had to work around him.
Exactly. We do that every night, Grant. We do that every night.
We're very privileged.
What's your secret? Why do they do it to me?
Benedictine. It's called. Benedictine.
Yeah.
You always bring a religious element in.
Yes.
That'll work. That'll work.
Bless you, Mark.
Works for one.
A little bit off the cuff. I've been doing some research and I found out that surprisingly, some of the Eagles have solo careers. Is there a demand amongst the audience to hear some of the solo stuff, like Don Henley's stuff, and particularly for me personally, Joe Walsh's stuff?
Love Joe.
Oh yeah.
He's our fave. Well, my fave, I should say.
Oh yeah. For me, once again, when we first started doing Eagles, we didn't have any of their solo stuff, really. Especially Joe Walsh. Big night last night, losing my voice.
Not enough. We did. Not enough baby.
So I apologise for that. So Rocky Mountain Way was a constant, almost written on the coaster, slid up to the stage request, and a few of the other earlier ones.
Funk 49.
Yeah, so we incorporated that into the show, and yes.
I've always found it's funny with those drink coasters is that people hand them to you, and the first
While
of
you're
all,
singing.
Yes, and first of all, they don't quite realise that you've got a million watts of light shining in your eyes and you can't read them. And for people like me who can't read it anyway,
You're doing very well. You're doing very well.
Well, I've rehearsed. I've
And now,
practiced.
now we've got in ears, we can't even read their lips.
Oh,
It's
yeah, we
like-
get fancy now.
Yeah, we've got in ears now. We've gone up a notch.
That's right.
I don't know what happened to the record player, but anyway.
That's right. Still in the garage.
We've gone from 19th century technology to 21st century
right,
technology in the space of a minute. This is brilliant. So clearly, the most challenging part, what I'm getting here, is the vocal lines. How did you work out who did what vocal line?
We all have sort of different tones and ranges, so our voices suit certain songs. And we did swap around, I think, a couple of times. That someone will try a song, and then somebody else, and then
So
obviously
it
it
sounds
suited.
better, obviously.
Yeah.
Just like
Well,
when actually Don Felder tried to sing one of their songs, and they took him out to lunch, and then Don Henley recorded it.
He was gone.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And then we have the circle of fear too, sometimes before a show, just to make sure we've got everything.
Oh, this sounds like a sort of gig I really want to be at.
Yes.
So, my little spies tell me that you guys have an unplugged and acoustic set. Are my little spies accurate?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Those darn spies.
Yeah. Who are your spy? Oh, you're not going to tell me.
Oh, that's
They'll
why
have
I
to
kill
kill us
spies. But mind you, I've seen your clothing too. You really do need to wash more often.
Sorry, mate.
Well, spies are also perverts, but I didn't want to say that. I, for one, would absolutely love to hear some acoustic stuff. Can you guys do some acoustic stuff?
Yes, we
I'm
can.
sure we can arrange
Sure.
something for you, mate. Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit how the band met, how you all came to be. Like you knew each other previously. Little River Band was an influence there. What's the background? What's the backstory?
Oh, it's actually
Backstory.
quite
Well, it's quite long,
Yeah.
because we've known each other since we were
Yeah,
kids.
Brendan and I from school.
We worked together for a long time.
Mark in another life did some theatre stuff, theatre restaurant stuff, and our bass player Trev worked with him. And Ross is through business.
Business
through
acquaintances
business
for 25
acquaintances,
odd
things
years.
like that. So we've
So
all
it's-
joined together, and it's actually the mix we've got's pretty awesome. Like the blend of voices, it just happens, and I think nobody can make. You can't write that stuff. It just kind of happened for us.
And
you know?
personality
And
too, you know.
Yeah.
It is strange. There has to be that kind of like
Yeah.
synergy with the band. Otherwise,
There's
it
no
ends.
drama. There's no egos.
Yeah.
It just happens. We just have fun. You know, it's great.
And ain't that just the best thing in the world?
That's right.
All right, going to put you, Johnny, on the spot. No lies, no crap.
Mm.
Favourite Eagles song? Go.
Ooh, Hotel California for me.
Ooh, classicist.
Mm.
Our last resort.
Ooh, off the cuff.
I have to say, take it to the limit.
Ooh.
Eagle Rock.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Eagle Rock!
You'd be surprised how
Oh, how many
people
requests have had that?
how many people request that, and I think you're not a true fan.
Now
But,
this,
Yeah? What makes you say that?
for me to sing, waste of time. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
yeah.
30 seconds. Best gig or worst gig and why?
Wow.
Ooh.
We won't name names. Okay, Mingara. Mingara was the
Poor Big Girl, and we
Yeah.
like Big Girl.
I do love him.
That
It was a
the
bad
worst
gig.
one, yeah.
It was a bad gig.
It was a bad gig. It was, floor level, people drunk, knocking over microphones and
You know.
all sorts of stuff.
That's rock
not,
and
not
roll,
their
mate.
fault. Yeah.
It's soft.
And a lot of the best gigs for us are in Sydney, Grant. You know, old Souths Juniors, Blacktown Workers, you know, Winnie Leagues, all those great venues who support all what we do.
Yeah.
You getting that, Victoria? You getting that?
All these great venues that support the great Sydney artists and Victorians, I'm sure. But they're awesome, you know. You can't really pick one good venue because we're lucky to have so many here in Sydney.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Outside of the Eagles, what do you guys think would be your biggest musical influences?
well, Elvis was a big play for me.
Yeah.
From a vocal point of view, musically as well. Mark Knopfler, Tommy Manuel, the guitaring side of things. So
Nice.
that's been my
Homegrown
that was my
stuff.
choice when I was growing up. I was in a time capsule.
Yeah.
Queen, Toto.
Yeah.
You know, I love like Brian May, I love Freddie's voice. You know, Michael Bolton, Tom Jones, Stevie Wonder. I had lots of influences.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto, for sure.
Ditto.
Great musos.
All the good
Yeah.
singers.
Yeah, all the
Foreigner,
Yeah.
Michael
Foreigner.
McDonald, John Farnham when I got to Australia.
Right,
All right. Thank you very much for talking us on the tribute show today. We've had a wonderful
Just
time.
one sec before we go. I've got your little present, mate. Thank you so much for having us. And I bought you, excuse me, I bought you a very, very Desperado tribute show stubby coolers.
Or Benedictine.
Or Benedictine. They're for you, mate.
Oh, thank you very,
Thank you
very
so
much.
much for having us,
Thank
mate.
you very much. Thank you very much. Next time I fall over dead drunk, I will think of you guys first of all.
Thanks, mate. Good on you. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very, very much to
Okay.
Desperado. Thanks for coming along today, guys, and we'll see you back in the studio.
Right, you are.
Hi, we're Desperado, the Eagle Show.
And you're watching the tribute show.
You won't believe your eyes.
Okay.
So is it from... Jeez. All alone at the end of the evening, and the bright lights have faded to blue. I was thinking about a woman that loved me I never knew. You know I've always been a dreamer, spend my life running around, and it's so hard to change. Can't seem to settle down, but the dreams I've seen lately keep on turning out and burning out and turning out the same. So put me on a highway, show me a sign, and take it to the limit one more